Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a unit review, and probably I'm just not very happy about this unit review. Arngrim. Yes, he has been the one Valkyrie profile character who has evaded me, and I'm just not chasing him. Number one rule, unless you're a super whale with just a fortune to spend on this game, it's really never worth it to chase a 5-star. Also, if you're just after their TMR or Super TMRs. Super TMRs are just whale bait. And the other thing is, while his weapon is potentially a huge benefit right now in quite a few different things, there is one major problem with it. And that is, well, that there's going to be more in the future. So for those of you who didn't get him, you don't have to feel terrible. There will eventually be another true dual hand sword with an element to it. So maybe it'll be even better in the future. But the point is that for now, I will be letting him go. But as it turns out, I don't really know anybody with him as a friend unit, and I want to get this unit review done and move on with my life, because this week we have the live stream coming up. So today we're going to take an examination of him, and so we will be turning over to the web and Reddit for this. So first of all, Arngrim. Well, as I've said before, his TMR and his Super TMR were the most interesting things about him. First of all, his accessory is a 40 attack, light resistance with a 10% physical chance dodge and a 40% chance to counter with a pretty nice ability. It was a pretty good base TMR, but then we also got his Super Trust Mastery, which is the two-handed sword, 165 attack, thunder element greatsword, with a boost to limit burst damage at a 1 or 1 point times 6 variant. So pretty standard, but the limit boost damage still hurts that I never got it. Even 2 of him, I would have been happy. Let it go. Anyway. So let's talk about his limit burst. What is so great about it? Well, maxed out, it's an 1800% single target 8-hit physical fire attack, which there's something to be said about limit bursts that don't use elements, and that's just that they're kind of better, because you can imbue them with elements from a weapon, and if it is just a natural fire one, if you ever come against an enemy that absorbs fire, this unit isn't particularly useful in that trial. But it also AoE fills limit burst crystals, so that's kind of nice. Basically, between his Super TMR and his kit, you could get a 1.5-ish times bonus to this. Ish, because I'm not willing to do the math. It's okay. But it's not game-breaking, and it's not as strong as someone like Cloud, or really Squall, or Freya. So, limit burst-wise, he just doesn't quite add up. Now, what about, well, of course he's a Valkyrie profile character, so he has the use 3 abilities in a turn, so long as they're not the same ability. That's always cool. So, what is this guy's big shtick? Well, he has a AoE 1-hit physical attack. He has a single target 1-hit physical attack. He has another single target 1-hit physical attack. He has another single target hit physical attack. Really, he just has a lot. Okay, well, in his 7th. So up to his base 6-star, he's really just a chain finisher. And again, while he does have some nice stuff in his kit, not like, for one thing, 20 attack plus 75% attack for true dual handing. That's 95% right there. And he gets an extra 30% for different types of weapons, so 125% in his 6-star kit is pretty nice. Then you get into his 7-star kit. He gets an extra 75% attack just from equipping his TMR, which we've already established is really good. Another 10% and another 20%. So he can pretty easily hit the 300% cap. The real question is, are his abilities good enough to merit this? Not really. Because one of the benefits of Squall or Cloud is that they can use their biggest attack twice, where this guy is going to be limited to, well, 3 different attacks. And if they're all chain finishers, are they really all that good? Yes and no. Like his 800% attack, where he debuffs defense for 50%, you're always going to use that first. His Rage, which gives himself 200% attack for 3 turns, as well as 3 turns limit burst boost by 100%, and his 2-turn on available on 3-turn cooldown ability, 1200% single target, 1-hit physical attack. In general, it's, you know, it's pretty strong, but looking at his entire kit, giving, you know, there's ignoring fatal attacks and doing all kinds of stuff. Oh, and his 1000% has is a physical attack dragon. Here's the big problem that I have with him. No MP refresh. It really, really hurts to not have MP refresh, even if he has some cool counters that debuff fire resistance and adds fire to his attacks and fills his limit burst, and he has a lot of attacks with high percentages. A lot of his big stuff, particularly his 68 MP debuff ability, which is probably how you'd most of the times want to start. Not only that, but because it's just one of his bigger hit abilities, his cooldown ability is 88 MP, his Rage is 70 MP, which Rage cannot be put into the triple cast. He's going to potentially run out of MP, maybe a little bit quickly, and he's a little too dependent on fire. Which is weird, because his super TMR is Thunder, too. It just makes for a really weird, confused unit. Lenneth I had a few problems with, but in general, I still prefer Lenneth to Arngrim. As far as I'm concerned, big thing about Arngrim is his super TMR and regular TMR. Great for physical users other than himself. As for him, I mean, he's a plenty cool unit, but he's just kind of eh. Like, really, I don't know what else to say about him. He's just kind of eh. It's not that he's bad. I don't think that at all. But eh. So, yes, that's pretty much my review of Arngrim. Like, for the most part, what you really want with him is his TMR. And if he's all you got, he's a plenty fine physical user, but no MP recovery means that you have to have someone working on MP for this guy, or he's going to run out very quickly. And that means you'll also have to pour a lot of MP pots into him to get the MP regeneration that you'll need to support using his biggest attacks. And with that said, as the music dies, that pretty much wraps up all of the reviews for the Valkyrie profile event. And I'm very glad to be done, because it's been an interesting, if not a little bit weird raid that was kind of made worse by the damage bug, but we also got some pretty good compensation. So in the end, how do I feel about everything that has happened with this raid, with these characters? Well, for one thing, I definitely think there are some winners and losers in terms of the characters we ended up seeing coming out of this raid. Questionable name, but we'll continue anyway. First of all, let's talk about in general. Arngrim, little disappointing, but just some fantastic rewards for getting that unit. Then we'll talk about this girl. An interesting kit. I think that she could be potentially built in a lot of different ways, and really, she's not bad. She's not bad at all. And last but not least, well, you all knew this was coming, Freya. Freya is a little bit of a game changer. She is a massively strong magic unit that, honestly, I didn't expect to see out of this event. I never looked at when it was announced and I saw all of the units, I was like, okay, none of them will be that much of a big deal. Freya is a big deal. For her limit burst, for her kit, for everything. She's the best built of all three of the units. And to the fact that it's kind of nice that for really all you need is the 7-star version of her. You don't need the Super TMR. Lenneth kind of wants you to get that Super TMR bow of hers because it's the strongest bow in the game. Arngrim pretty much demands that you get it because it's just so powerful. Whereas Freya's Super TMR is nice, but it's certainly not needed. It really isn't. And in general, in terms of Super TMRs, it's obvious that Arngrim is the winner. In terms of usefulness for a unit, I feel pretty confident saying that Freya won it. And not even by a little bit, because out of all three of the units, she's just potentially the kind of the easiest to build, and she's just in general the strongest. If you were a brand new player, you really don't need much to make her kit work. You just need to get the trust movables. So in the end, what do I think of this raid event? This was one of my more favorite raid events, not just because I ended up getting really lucky through the most of it, but because it had some really good rewards to it. It had some really good super TMRs that you could get off just getting a few rainbow units, and more importantly, I hate regular rate limited time units. They're incredibly difficult to get, it feels like, and I've had a really long history of just not getting any limited time units, so this one felt just a little bit special, because I landed on what? It's not what I wanted, but I think I got what I needed. So as we wind down this event, I hope you have had a great time too. There were a lot of step-ups, it required a lot of Lapis, but no, that's all I got. So yes, that's all for now, and I will see you all in the next video. Ooh, did I? Just in the bonuses now. Just in the bonuses. But yeah, with regards to how salty I was yesterday, it's pretty understandable. Getting nothing on the upped rates does hurt, and in general, this is how I still feel. I definitely got carried away this month. What with chasing on step-up banners, and it's pretty easy when you get that positive feedback of winning, so much so that it hurts even more when you get nothing. But remember, the odds are still barely against you. Oh, thank God I got something useful out of these pulls. But yeah, so remember, even if the general rule is expect less and be happy that when you get more. I think that's pretty good. And for the rest of the raid, I'm just going to be trying to close out a few more of the TMRs that I can get. Lenneth, as well as the 4-star, and hopefully another Freya before it's done. Would really love to close out another Freya. And I'm getting there 5% at a time. So yes, that's all for this video, and I will see you in the next video, which should be fun. I will see you all then.